The race at Phoenix Raceway on Sunday ended in unexpected accidents. Who then was responsible for all these mishaps? Many are blaming the Stewart Haas Racing team for the disastrous weekend. So what errors did the team make, and where did they lead the driver? If you want to know what happened at the Phoenix race on Sunday, stick around to the end. But before that, please subscribe to our channel and hit the like button for more whereabouts on NASCAR. There's no doubt that this Sunday was a disaster for Stewart Haas Racing due to their drivers' misfortunes. Therefore, let's take a look at both the team's drivers and what went wrong with them. First, let's talk about Aric Almirola and his tire trouble, and then we'll move on to Kevin Harvick. Aric Almirola went to the NASCAR Cup Series race at Phoenix Raceway with the goal of doing well. Instead, he had to deal with a strange tire problem that made his afternoon a mess. After the green flag pit stops in Stage 2, the accident happened. On lap 138, Almirola hit the wall hard at the start-finish line. Then the wheel of his number 10 Stewart Haas Racing Ford Mustang fell off, which caused a caution. But what was strange was that only half of the wheel was on the track. The rest was still on the Ford Mustang number 10. Almirola made it back to pit road, but he had to stay in his stall longer than usual while the team fixed a broken toe link. Almirola was then held back by NASCAR for 2 extra laps while he served a penalty for putting a wheel on wrong. This put Almirola a long way behind the leaders in the last stage. Almirola and his team confirmed at first over the radio that this was not the usual problem with how the tires were put on that caused the wheels to fall off in the past. Instead, they said that Almirola's hub had broken before he hit the wall. After the conclusion of the Cup Series race, Bob Pockrass of Fox Sports actually delivered an update. Officials from NASCAR told him that the replay showed that the lug nut came off the car before the wheel broke. Drew Blickensderfer, who was working as Almirola's crew chief, confirmed that the wheel was loose during their conversation. So, Almirola's team could still get another penalty. NASCAR officials stopped the number 10 car for 2 laps after it lost or broke a wheel. This is part of the new penalty system for losing wheels on race weekends. Before the race weekend at Atlanta Motor Speedway, there is a chance that the governing body will hand out another penalty. A 2-race suspension for 2 members of the team might also be handed down, putting them out of action for both the Atlanta and Circuit of the Americas events, though this will be up to NASCAR officials to decide. In the year 2023, the Joe Gibbs Racing number 19 team is the only one that will be penalized for a lost wheel. During the second stage at Auto Club Speedway, Martin Truex Jr.'s Toyota Camry lost a wheel. The incident took place on the track, therefore the referees detained him for 2 laps before suspending 2 crew members for a total of 2 competitions. Tony Stewart, the owner of the team that drives for Aric Almirola, will have another option available to him if his driver's team is penalized. He could try to get the penalty overturned by appealing the decision, though the news from Pockrass could make it less likely that this will happen. During the 2022 season, several teams tried to get out of the lost wheel penalty. Joe Gibbs Racing and Colleague Racing were just 2 examples of teams that went to the appeals panel but lost their case. But Phoenix has been one of Almirola's stronger tracks. Almirola is known for being a ringer at superspeedways. After all, Talladega Superspeedway and Daytona International Speedway were the sites of 2 of his 3 Cup Series wins, even though he has had a number of good races at Phoenix Raceway. Before the spring race in 2023, Almirola had a perfect record of 24 starts, meaning that he had finished every race he had begun. He had an average finish of 14.4, with 7 top 10 finishes and 2 top 5 finishes, both of which were 4th places in 2018 and 2019. When the 2023 season began, Almirola had a streak of 6 top 20 finishes in a row at Phoenix Raceway under his belt. Unfortunately, the damaged toe link and broken wheel put an end to this run, and he finished the final stage 5 circuits behind the leaders in the race. Now as we move further, please share your thoughts on the tire problem that Aric Almirola has to face. And yeah, if you want more NASCAR news, to subscribe to our channel. Now let's move on to Kevin Harvick, and how time ran out when he moved out after a 4-tire pit call. William Byron and the rest of his team celebrated their victory in victory lane while Kevin Harvick's crew chief, Rodney Childers, strolled down pit road with a member of Harvick's squad. As they went by, a safety worker complained that Childers' call to the pit before overtime didn't work out. On lap 305 of the 317-lap race, Harvick was in first place when he went to the pit road. Childers asked for a 4-tire change. Byron was one of 6 drivers that just had to change 2 tires before they could restart ahead of Harvick. Even after a following yellow caused the race to go into overtime, it was not enough time for Harvick to make his way back to the head of the pack. He came in 6th place overall. According to comments made by Childers to NBC Sports, "I think that anyone that knows us on the number 4 car, we're clearly better on 4 tires. To tell you the truth, I wasn't too happy about winning with 2 tires. We've done 2 tire changes late here quite a few times and lost more than we won. But I looked at the board and thought we'd go back green with about 7 laps to go. Then we all pitted and rode around for 4 laps under caution while we waited for the green-white checkered. That seemed to satisfy me at the time. If that's what we're going to do, we need to let everyone know. We can't just let everyone pit and then ride around like that. The entire weekend, we got access to an extremely nice car. During the course of the weekend, we made only a few minor adjustments. Should have and could have been the winner. Harvick said that Childers made the best decision. Had it been up to me, that's exactly what I would have done, Harvick said. I'd much rather be in the offensive position. When the first caution flag came up, I just couldn't get past a handful of cars in time. We did kind of blow our opportunity. I kept fooling myself into thinking I had a shot right up until the very end. These cars were quite a bit slower. They get stuck together. That's how things work. Just kept smoking them until the warning. Childers expressed his opinion that Harvick had the best car this weekend, despite the fact that the spotlight was on the vehicles entered by Hendrick Motorsports. Childers said that was because they did this event 3 times in the simulator and found something we felt good about. Harvick's speed was noticed by Hendrick teams. Randy Fugel, Byron's crew chief, revealed that they were doing all of their comparisons to Harvick and Kyle Larson while they were watching. I just had the feeling that Harvick would like this race, right? You look at that long green flag run in Stage 3 with no downforce, a bunch of dirt racers, Harvick wrapping the bottom, and William being disciplined. Discipline is necessary for running at a high level and being really good, both of which Kevin is incredible at. Even though the team didn't win, Harvick finished in the top 10 in all 3 West Coast races. He came in 5th at Auto Club Speedway, 9th at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and 5th at Phoenix. Alex Bowman was the only other driver who finished in the top 10 in all 3 races held on the West Coast. Overall, this Sunday will be remembered for the 2 drivers who were the victims of the Stewart Haas Racing crew. Many believe that the crew did not inspect Eric Almirola's car before the race started, which caused him to have tire trouble. And because of that, he had caution and lost time while restoring the number 10 Mustang. And in the case of Kevin Harvick, it was the crew's job to look around for the time when they changed the 4 tires on the number 4 Mustang. Because of this, he ran out of time and squandered his opportunity at the time, even if Harvick maintains changing the tires was the proper decision. After the race, in response to the failures at Phoenix Raceway, Tony Stewart spoke up about the things that went wrong. He said that he would try to figure out what went wrong. He will also speak with the Stewart Haas Racing crew, particularly Scott Childers, to ensure that this does not happen again. That's all we've got for today. We hope you enjoyed it. Tell us what you think of the video in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel to get more NASCAR updates. We hope to see you in the upcoming video.